morning, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sandra, and we are going to start my April plan with me. So like I said in previous videos, this one is going to be a rather long one. And so we're going to start by doing a binder switchover. I'm actually filming this over a set of multiple days because I just don't know if I'll have the time to do it all in one. So with that being said, I'm going to pull out my task card. Now I did do a flip through of this setup on my Instagram. So I'll link my Instagram there if you guys want to check it out. But I'm going to pull out the month. Again, I haven't changed this, so I need to transfer my binder over before I do any of this stuff, right? So I'll have all of this stuff inside of the binder, but I have to switch the binder first in order to do all of it. So I'm going to share with you which binder I'll be using. And this one, if you want to know, is the pale pink classic sized Anna binder from Franklin Covey, and I've loved it. Like, I'm not a huge pink fan, but I really have loved this for March. And we are sitting at March 28th today, so I've got 3 more days before the end of March. So I wanted to get a little start on my setup. So okay, so we're going back into my binder from January, y'all. We're going into my Canyon leather binder. This is the shade, I believe it was Periwinkle. This binder has been sold out online. It is very popular apparently. So I wish I could link this color for you, but it is sold out. So it also has 1.5-inch rings. I have added inserts in here already, but they're not in order. So I will be taking out a lot of my pretties from here and adding them into this binder. So I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. And you will see a little bit of a switch here. Like, I guess we could technically just walk our way through it, but it would be a really long video. I don't know if you guys are into that. I've done a whole bunch of things, and we'll talk about it after. I do have a pre-planning monthly sheet here. But I'm using Agendio inserts, y'all. I'm going to try them out for this month and see what I think. I've got a whole bunch of things in here that I want to use, a whole bunch of new things. Okay, let's see. And we're all sick in this household. Every single one of us is sick except for my husband. Apparently he's never sick. Apparently, like, really, he never is. We got really sick over Christmas. He never even got anything. So super impressive. So what I did with the Agendio inserts is that I got all of the tabs in different colors, kind of like a rainbow, but I'm only putting 1 month in at a time. So I only have April in here. But this is how wide my April inserts look like, okay? But this is my monthly, my weeklies, and my dailies for everything. And then this down here is note paper. So I don't know if I need this because you guys know me. I like to fill up my notebook. I like to fill up my planner. So maybe I'll pull those out for now. And then if I need extra notes, I can add them later. Okay, so we're going to just kind of add them at the beginning like I had. Now, I don't know. Like, this part in my Anna binder, this protector allowed me to add like a decorative piece in front, but I don't know if I'm going to need that. So I'm just going to set it aside for now. And we're just going to add the pieces that I need. So I do want to continue adding my overview, which is kind of a protector onto itself. And this one will go, I will put in my purple one that I made. And actually, I kind of want this to be my cover page, so I don't know. I guess I had to put all of these together. I'm using one of my charms, so I'm going to use a couple of my charms in this setup. This is my Rainbow Best Friend charm. So maybe I'll put it here. I kind of like the idea of having it in front. That's kind of the whole point. So I wonder if we just put that in front and then have that behind, okay? And then for the rest of them, I'll just kind of wait and see. Then comes my task card. Okay, and then what we have in my binder here is my goals, but I have things in front. I'm going to put them behind, I think, just to make it easier for me. So I'm not sure which one I should put. This would be for a schedule, but I also like this in front of my goals. I don't know. That's kind of nice. Okay, I have another term here, but I'll take that off. And then I have my brain dump page. Okay, Penny. And so for my brain dump page, I do have these inserts I'm going to use from Fancy Plans Co. And I do want to use a dashboard. I just don't know which one here. Maybe we'll use this one. And I'm going to need to carry these over. But I'll put this one in front maybe, because it looks pretty. Okay, next comes my schedule. So here's where the change is going to be made. I'm going to put my future log right behind this, but I'm going to keep this in there. But my schedule, I will not have my monthly or daily tab in here. The only one I have is my brain dump, because I don't need my business one either, so I might not need top tabs. We'll see. Let's see how it's going to work. So I have this one. This is the Teresa Collins one, but I also wanted to share with you guys what I did. I ordered this from Elamon Paper Co. And it's like the same thing, but it gives you more room to write. And it's just simply like that. So I'm missing the first 3 months, but that's fine. So I'm going to put this one in front. Okay, and schedule doesn't need an extra anything. Okay, and then I'm going to have to put like some kind of like separator to show where my agendio starts, I think. Something. Okay, I'll think of that later. Maybe I'll use like a charm or something. Let's keep going. So I won't need my monthly, so I'll take out this. The only thing that makes me sad is I won't be able to decorate, because you guys know how I like decorate parts of my goal page, right? I won't be able to do that. I might still be able to. We'll have to see. I'm going to set these aside because I'm going to need this for after. And I'm going to keep my last week in there as well. My last week of March, or do I want to? Actually, this one can be carried over, because now that I'm switching over, I can start my week on my new one. So what I'll do is I'll copy this information over after I'm done the video. So here's my monthly, here's my daily, which I don't think I need, unless I can somehow separate my agendio, but I don't think I can. I'll show you guys how it's set up. I won't go through it yet, but so here's the month. So technically I could put the monthly in front of there still. Let's see. But the dailies are going to change now, because what I did is I have the month, and then the week follows the month, and then each of the dailies for that that week follows directly behind the week. So there's always like 7 dailies, then another week, then 7 dailies, if you know what I mean. Let's see, if I were to go to the first daily, which is Monday, I would have to cut my week. And I don't know if I like doing that. Unless I get a bookmark. Yeah, because I don't really want this in here. I haven't decided there yet. I'm sure I'll be able to think of something. So that's for the schedule. And then for the monthly, we don't have anything yet. Let's see. I guess I could just put this in front of the monthly, or in front of like the whole agenda of inserts themselves. Okay, so then we bypass all of the inserts, okay? So that's my schedule. Oh wait, we were gonna put a thing there. Wow, how easily I forget. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one. We'll do a flip through and I'll tell you guys where everything is from. Then we move that back. Okay, and then I can get rid of my March inserts. Goodbye, March. Again, I'll transfer everything over because I have basically everything in here that would go on the few pages at the end of March that I have in here. Okay, the next one is home. So I'll put home in here. See what else I have. So I've got my son's school pages I have to add. And then I've got 2 habit trackers I'm going to add, and I think that's it. The rest are just dashboards. Okay. And I've got a few that I really do want to add, so hopefully I can fit them all in there. Okay. Then I've got sinking funds. Pick another one of these. Go put this one here. And then we have school. And I'm going to put this one. So I have the school sheets here. So again, it was spring break, so I don't think I need to carry over the old ones. But there is something. I'll have to carry over his word list. Let's see. So I have the end of February still, March. Yeah, I don't have like the last week of March because right now he's on spring break. So I have an extra one in there. So put that in there as well in his word list. Then I have personal. Put that at the beginning. Maybe we'll use this one for right now. Okay, then the next one is my reading tab. And this one I have like all of these reading things. I don't know if I want to continue that one. I think I'll switch it finally. I do like it though. I like this one. Maybe this one because reading is so magical. It just sucks because this is kind of covering it up. We're slowly running out of room, you guys. So let's see how much I have to fit in here. Just routines and projects. Here's my reading. I might have to start filling it from the other side here. Okay, so let's go. Projects. And then I had business in the back. So I'm just going to remove this tab because I do not need it no more. Projects. I had projects and notes. So note paper can go back there. We'll pick a new design. Either this one with this on it, or I like that one too. Or we can do that one, or that one. Okay, so I want to use this one for sure. Now this one is the same. This one has like the little girl, so maybe this one instead. So it would either be a choice between these four. So I'd have this one, this one, this one, or this one. I'll just see what they look like with this in front of them here. That's pretty. That's pretty too, but it's kind of plain. It just says at the bottom, you're made of magic and stardust. I know this one I already have in there because I have the butterflies covering that one. I think I have one of these in there too with the boat, don't I? I have the other side of this one, so let's do this one. Okay, I think I've made up my mind. That can go there. And then we have the projects and notes tab. Okay, and then we have my habits tab. So I need to add, for some reason, like I kept February in there, but I'm gonna have to copy over that information because yeah, it's no longer February. Look at how good I followed up with everything, but I will have a change coming because I'm gonna have my I'm gonna have a self-care planner, which is gonna be in one of my melodies. It's gonna be my new melody, so I'm gonna share that video with you guys soon. I'm gonna do a separate video to showcase all of my melodies, and then I'm actually going to just probably talk about my planner lineup too. Okay, that is it. I did it. I managed to do it. And my binder isn't bursting quite yet. I took out all of the top tabs except for the brain dump and the monthly. So now I feel kind of like incomplete at the top. And I wasn't sure if I wanted this to look like to stay like this. Yeah, I don't know. I know I want to carry over some things from the front of my other planner. This can go, it's pink. This can go. I want to carry that over, and I think I want this in here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is take out these. I think I want this one in there. I want that. I have some prescription and medical stuff I need to keep, so that will go in here. I want my little plan clip. Oh, it's getting so full. We'll take this out. These don't need to be in here. Maybe this one. I don't think I need so many ollie clips. Here, let's just pull everything out and just see. I have this little pocket thing I'm going to put in there after. Like I'll attach it to one of the inserts, I think. Okay, so we're going to keep this in here, I think. And this is a planner thing from Honeybee Shop. It's a little magnet. It says VIP of the Stationery Hoarders Club. I got one in purple and one in pink. And I'm pretty sure my daughter just woke up, so I'm gonna have to see what's going on. Okay, so I want that one, and I also want this one. Okay, I have this charm too, so I might use this charm to separate as a bookmark, so I might see here. I might not leave that in the front. I want to keep this one in there. And I think I want to keep this. It says weapon of choice. Those are both from the Honeybee Shop. And then this one, I think, I don't know if I need this in there. There, that's cute. Okay. And then this one, I like it, but I don't want to cover up my front. Unless I put it here. Okay. There we go. So this notebook will go in the back. I've got a business card here that I'm going to just pop right back here. Got a couple more. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to save the rest of this planning event for another day because my daughter just woke up. So now that my binder is switched over, I'll be able to start my goals on Wednesday. And then hopefully wake up earlier and get a bigger chunk of work done. So I'm just taking the sticker book out for now. I'll have this for this week, and then I have my ruler. I'll put my ruler at the back. And then I also have these dots from Erin Condren because I was thinking of using them. They've got a lot of purple and blue in here, so I was thinking of using them on my inserts. So I'll put this down here. This will be able to fit in here, I think. And then these will just go in front for now. And then I've got my ruler. And then I have room for my pens. As for pens, I don't know what I'm going to use yet. I know I'm going to use my TWSBI. This is my fountain pen. But I kind of want to use a purple pen. I also want to share with you guys, I'm just going to add it here, might as well, it's as good of time as any. I'm going to share two pictures with you. One is a before picture, which I showed in a previous video, and one is an after picture, and they're of my markers. So what I did is I organized my markers according to color. Before they were organized per type. And while I thought they were more functional, but as type before, I feel like I never got the full use out of all of my markers and pens. So the bottom two kind of cubbies are all brush pens, and then the top two, including the little pull-out drawer ones, are just like markers and pens that are not brush pens. So yeah, I'll show you guys, and you guys can check it out and see them side by side there. But yeah, I don't know, I think it's definitely more aesthetically pleasing now that I've organized it by color. But for functionality, I'm just going to have to wait and see, because now I have all of the types of pens mixed in with all one color, so we'll just kind of see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to retire this pink binder for now. And now I'm in my purple binder, so this makes me happy. I'm going to pick out some type of purple pen. Hold on. Okay, so the two I picked out, I have this Stabilo .88. It's a fine liner. And then I also have my Zebra Mild liner. So I'm going to use those for now. And then plus, of course, my black ink, because I love that. So I don't know if this will actually stay in there because it doesn't have a clip, but I think it might, because then I'll just use the lid here, if I can, to attach the mild liner. And then on the other side, I put my TWSBI. And there we go. Okay, so next video, I'm going to continue on with goals, and we'll talk more about that as we get there. Okay, we'll return shortly. Hi guys. Okay, we are back. I'm starting this off Wednesday morning now, and we are going to dive into my new binder. So you guys saw this switch at the beginning. I probably have changed a few things here because I just felt like I needed a little change. Um, First thing though, we're going to get my task card, and I'm going to pull out my monthly task card, but also my monthly my pre-planning sheet here. Okay, so review quarter goals. Yeah, I haven't made new goals yet, so I'm gonna do. Let's review what we have so far. I think what we'll do is review how we've gone. This isn't a Cultivate What Matters video at all, so I'm just going to be referencing that planner to create my new quarter goals, because I said that we'd be doing that this video as well. So for the quarter, I think overall January was really kind of a write-off, because we had our son at the end of December, and January was like, the first 2 months when you have a baby, let alone when you bring a baby home with medical issues. It's just, it's kind of like a big wash, right? You don't remember any of it. And honestly, January and February, it kind of worked out in our favor, because January, February for me are the worst months. They were the worst months for feelings. Basically, I suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and this year, I did not feel it at all. I was too busy worrying about my son. So, I mean, I'd rather swap that rather than have to worry about my son. But, you know, it is what it is. And so I feel like now that we're at the end of March, March for me flew by. I don't even barely remember March. March is my favorite month. So I'm really trying to take advantage of all the days. But April is just going to warm up. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm just so excited for summer. I'm excited for my son to experience summer, and my daughter just can't wait to get outside. So all in all, despite the stress, there's still a lot of stress. There's still a lot of worry for us. Specifically, I feel like on me, I feel like I'm around my son every single day, and I'm reminded constantly of what we're dealing with, and it just scares me. I'm so scared and I'm so stressed. I swear to goodness, I've developed like 100 more gray hairs. So I'm not going to show you guys because my hair is a disaster right now, but I dyed my hair, I bleached it. And they always say you should never bleach your hair at home. Well, I'm living proof of why you shouldn't. Basically, half my hair is yellow and half the other half is purple from my purple conditioner. So needless to say, I'm probably going to go back to being a brunette. I'm just going to figure out the color combination to strike out the yellow and strike out the purple. So anyway, we are working on that. It's a work in progress. So if I'm looking at everything here, so date night is Friday, so we're still sitting at Wednesday. I'm filming this video over a period of days because I know it's going to be long. So I can technically cross off Franklin setup because we are working on it. As for everything else, I did finish this book, The Death Witch, and I'm actually on the last book, The Rose Witch, and it's the last book currently that Chandel Levon has written in the series. Like, she's writing more, but I've caught up, like I'm done. So I'm going to start a new series, and I'll show you guys what else I have planned for that. But I'll have to probably write books in my new quarter goals that I've got planned, and I've got them all here, so that's good. Okay, so books, we're doing not too bad. The Rose Witch, I will probably have done. I started it yesterday. Oh yeah, I started it yesterday, guys. This is like a small book compared to what I have been reading. This one's positively tiny, so if I finish it between today and tomorrow, I always read about 20 minutes a day, half an hour sometimes. So I will have that done, no problem. It makes me a little sad because I have been enjoying this series so much. I've been reading it since right before Christmas, and it's just been very enjoyable. It's been a fun escape for me. Okay, so Red Deer visit. We did go to Red Deer. I don't know why I didn't cross it off. And books have been good. So the only thing I haven't worked on, my birthday is coming up. I'll just cross it off. Same with date night. At first I told my mom we weren't going because we didn't have money. I was afraid of our situation. We stopped getting CCB because I owe money back to the CRA. So that's Child Canada benefit, and it's a big chunk of money. It's like $739. So um, all of a sudden, to be without that, my husband started working overtime. So the deal with date night is my husband is going to be working Saturday and Sunday. And that's because Easter weekend, which is the weekend following that, he's going to be getting Good Friday off. So if he were to work Good Friday, he would be getting time and a half, actually double time, because how it works is they work 50 hours a week. He works 50-hour work weeks. Yeah, because he works Monday to Friday, technically, and they work 10-hour days. So that's 50 hours a week. So all day Friday is overtime anyway, but because it works out to be a stat holiday, he would be technically supposed to be getting double time. So what they're doing is letting the guys have that day off as well as Saturday, Sunday, and they're letting everybody work Saturday, Sunday this weekend. So that means that we'll be going out for my birthday Friday, but he has to come home early so that he can go to sleep because he'll have to wake up at 5 Saturday morning and Sunday morning. So we're not going to have a weekend together this weekend, which is kind of going to suck. We never went swimming last weekend, and we're not going to be able to go swimming this weekend either. So we'll have to wait till the one after that, which is Easter weekend, which we still won't be able to go swimming on Sunday. So I'm going to have to check the hours for Saturday. So I'm going to write a note. Let me just go on to my day here. Okay, so I just made a note for today to do that. So yeah, so I don't know how it's gonna go. Like, hopefully we can go out a little early. If my mom comes by like 6:30, I can get my daughter down to bed. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. We're all sick right now. So my son is sick. My oldest son was sick, and he gave us everyone else is sick because of him. My daughter is suffering the most. I think I'm suffering about the same, but like as an adult, I can control it better and like deal with it better. She's 2 and she doesn't deal with it at all. Her nose is constantly running. It's hurting her. She's finally developing a tiny cough. Like, it's just not good. So she's been requiring a lot of sleep lately. And last night she requested to sleep in her crib despite having her big girl bed in there. So, she's not feeling very well at all. So, um, Friday, hopefully we'll have her in bed by 7, and then my mom can focus on my son. And then if we come home early, that will be good for her anyway because then she doesn't have to worry about like taking care of him as much. She worries about it because with his cystic fibrosis, he has a lot of choking incidences, and now that he's a little sick, his nose gets really stuffy. So it's just kind of scary. Like the whole breathing thing has certainly been weighing on all of us. Date night, we will have date night Friday. Swedish death cleaning, I have not. I did do the pantry. I didn't really have to like clean it, but all the times I put like take two containers in the basement, take care of them, I haven't been able to have an opportunity. Since I've been dyeing my hair, every time I get a chance, I've been working on my hair a little bit. And it's hard because I have a newborn. Well, he's 3 months old actually, in like tomorrow. He's 3 months old, but um he still needs to be taken care of every couple hours. And when you get your hair done, when you do your hair, it does take time. So I haven't been able to focus on the basement at all. So I'm going to revamp that to bring it into quarter 2. Okay, so hopefully by the end of quarter 2, it'll be done. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, yeah, because I took care of the filing cabinet here in February. So, I mean, overall, I've been doing really, really well. So if we look at the overarching quarter, like the tasks over here, monthly savings challenge, for the most part, we've been doing $20 per person per week, for the most part, except when we know we have financial setbacks. So this one we've definitely been doing. I haven't been switching it up. I've just been doing $20 because it's most affordable. Haven't done anything with the Facebook buy and sell. Probably not going to. I'm going to keep my planners. Baby clothes, I'm just going to donate, and I might work on the purses. I just haven't yet. Swedish death cleaning haven't, and I have not started an art project. I have been thinking about it. I actually currently have one, and it kind of got my mind to thinking that I still haven't done a video on all of my art. I love to draw. I also love to paint, and I have been drawing and painting since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So I wanted to share. It's going to be kind of fun because it's going to be a walk down memory lane, basically. I want to talk about and share a couple of videos with you guys. I think I would have to break it down in a couple of videos because they are much too long to just do one video. I've got a lot of art projects that I worked on and have kept. Um, so I'm thinking about doing that as well. And if that's something you guys are interested in, like I love art and I love sharing, and yeah, I think it'd be great. So, art project, I have one that when I do those videos, I'll probably share it with you if I can find it. It's unfinished, and I think I just have the drawing done. I don't know if I started coloring it or not, but I'm a fan of colored pencils. I have invested, was it $1,000 or $500? Maybe it was only 500 for the Faber-Castell. They're like not oil pastel, but they're like they're pencil crayon, but they're a different type of pencil crayon where they lay down the color really, really nicely compared to like Crayola or Staedtler pencil crayons, if you know what I mean. These are coloring pencils. They're not like pencil crayons. So anyway, I want to get back into that. And again, all of my art supplies are kept down in the basement. They will not be thrown out with the rest of the stuff. Just like obviously that's my hobby, so I just haven't had time right now. So regular date nights, we definitely have. We've been doing really well. Not too bad. Regular swimming, we have started making a habit. It's just whenever my husband works overtime, we haven't been able to, as well as Easter weekend, we'll try to aim for that Saturday. So we've been doing well there. Plan for Swedish death cleaning. You guys, I tried. I tried getting my mom and my friend to like coincide their schedules and it didn't work. And plan for Facebook buy and sell. That's not happening. Okay. So again, so that's the biggest goal that I need to transfer forward is Swedish death cleaning. I mean, I've been doing small projects on the main floor, but just not in the basement because I will be doing it all by myself. My husband can't really help me because he doesn't really know how. It's not something that he can help with. So for the most part, I don't know if I need to actually refer to my goals because I already wrote down all of my notes. So that's good. I'm really happy with myself here. So what we'll do is we'll pull this out and we'll start working on this. I don't think I need to reference anything else. Okay, so let's get started.
I fell in love with who I thought you were, someone who'd never wanna see me hurt. But I was fooled by all your vows and words, no longer. We built a house when we were 21. Now I know why it never felt like home. Who can predict the future when they're young? Ooh, I wonder. You call and keep on asking, is it too late for us? The answer I keep giving, isn't it obvious? Our love has turned to nothing. But before I go, you should know, should know. You owe me years and years of happy times. You owe me tears and tears, 'cause I'm all out. Yeah, you were the worst kind of pain, but you were the pain that I needed to change. So I owe you two, yeah, two, yeah. I tried my best to fit in with close with all your friends, but never you. You shut me out and gave me attitude. No longer. You call and keep on asking, is it too late for us? The answer I keep giving, isn't it obvious? Our love is turned to nothing. But before I go, you should know. Should know. You owe me years and years of happy times. You owe me tears and tears, 'cause I'm all out. Yeah, you were the worst kind of pain, but you were the pain that I needed to change. So I owe you two, yeah, two. It's true, yeah, what they say. The honeymoon is just a phase. I found out in the worst of ways, but you were the best of my mistakes. You owe me years and years of happy times. You owe me tears and tears.
All right, guys. So this seemed to take a long time, but I have time because I don't have to take my son to school today. So what I'm gonna do here, and now this always happens because it's the current month. April is what we're planning for. I know more things in April because it's so current, whereas these months things could still come up. So I'm leaving them mostly open. We will have more appointments and stuff for my son Logan, and then we can just kind of fill them in when we need to. But for now, the high level things that I really want to get done. So these things are the to-dos for the next quarter. So the backyard cleanup, that needs to be done. Yes, I want to get it done sooner rather than later. So for the most part, I put all of those tasks in April. My Melody setup, again, I want to start tracking my health in April. So I added that here. And the reason why is because I'm feeling on a couple of levels. Number one, I suffer from asthma. My problem is I don't take my medication as prescribed. I'm supposed to be taking 2 puffs of my inhaler in the morning, 2 in the evening, and I don't. I usually only take it when I start to have an attack or when I'm not so proactive. I'm more reactive, and I want to switch that. So I'm figuring that I can help myself by starting to track this kind of thing in my planner. My Franklin planner has no room, so I'm setting up a whole planner just for health. Most of it's going to include mental health because I'm going through a really rough time right now. I'm trying to deal with everything that's been happening in my son's life, and I've been kind of stressed out to the max. So it's been very difficult. I feel like I've been managing well. I feel like I say that, but I haven't. I haven't been. I don't need to cut back like some people. I feel like I immerse myself in more tasks than ordinary when I'm feeling down, and it's good for me. If I don't do that, then I sit down and I mourn and I feel sorry for myself, and I don't want to do that. I want to get things done. Usually in high times of stress, like for instance, here's an example when my dad passed away. So it was like he was in the process of passing away. It was a slow, painful death for him because he was going through lung cancer, unfortunately. And this happened years ago. It was 2006. But at the time, I'd been trying to work full-time hours, but I had been taking 6 courses. Usually at the U of A, you're only allowed to take, was it 5? Max was 5, but I got special permission to do 6. So I was taking 6 courses. And then my dad was also passing away. So I was driving down to Pincher Creek where he lives, 6-7 hour drive, to deal with the estate and all of that. Taking my 6 courses. And I actually got I did well. I was working a lot to try to make extra money to, pay for stuff. And I think I did really well on my courses. And the reason why is because when at times of stress, and I remember getting shingles too, I was so stressed out that I kind of focus on stuff, and I have to, otherwise I would go crazy. My mind would go crazy. So I focus on a lot of tasks, and I usually am very productive, and I haven't had a setback yet. But now that I'm getting older, I have noticed changes. I've been requiring more sleep, which obviously I've got a newborn. everyone who has a newborn is sleep deprived. I've just been noticing changes in myself and my body, and I need to start focusing, number one, on water, number two, on sleep if I can. Even going to bed earlier, right? I've been trying to set my going to bed times by 10, which has been helping. I get up at 5. I still get that alone time in the morning. If I can feed, I usually feed my son from 4:30 to 5, and then he sleeps from like 5 to 8, which is perfect. And then if my kids don't get up until 7:30, 8 o'clock, it's nice because then I get some alone time and I can work. Although most of that alone time is work related. But playing with my planners to me is always personal time. So anyway, so that is a huge one. So I think the biggest thing isn't in the setup because I basically set up my planner. And I'm prepared for April. It's in the follow up and the follow through because I don't take care of myself. I mean, how many of us women can say that we do when we have kids, right? It's something that it's not that we purposely neglect ourselves. It's just at the end of the day, you take care of child number one, child number two, child number three, your husband, whatever, other family members if you need to. And at the end of the day, there is no energy or time to take care of yourself because you are exhausted. You flop into bed, and that is the end of your day. And you can't wait to get into bed. So I'm struggling to find time like to do my nails. Like it's hard, right? I was lucky enough to get my nails done, but I want to fill them in the next couple weeks. I'm working on my hair, which is something else. I can't afford to go get it done professionally, so I work on it myself. I cut everyone's hair. So things like that, but more specifically, taking my water, taking my meds on time, like the scheduled time. I started taking a birth control pill until my husband can go in and get a vasectomy. And that might be TMI, sorry guys. But there are 3 children is enough for us. We are done. So trying to take that on time. I had to set an alarm and I have to be really careful. And I've put my pills in my purse so that I take them at the same time every day. I'm on pills that are safe for breastfeeding, so progesterone only. So yeah, I have to be careful. I have to make sure that I'm on a schedule with all my medication. Not like I'm on extra medication, but I am on a heartburn pill because I have like acid reflux constantly. I just try to stay away from like really acidic foods and really spicy foods because that kind of makes it act up. The big thing is my inhaler. So those two are are important for me to kind of track, as well as my weight. And, once someone said, "Oh, it's so funny that you track when you have a shower." Well, honestly, I don't get to wash my hair that often. I wash my hair once every 7, 8 days, and I don't get to take care of myself. Like if I want to go shave my legs, when we go swimming on Sunday, sometimes I go and my legs aren't shaved, and I know that's something that is being more not being frowned upon as much anymore. Like, I mean, there was those commercials where people weren't shaving their armpits, which is fine. But if I want to shave, that's my choice, but I need to find the time to do it. Right. So it makes me feel like I've taken care of myself. I feel better about myself. I just need to find the time somewhere. That's a big one. The whole health tracking and the planner setup. The planner setup is to hopefully get me excited to continue to track every day. So I need to be in that planner every day. The garage cleanup, that needs to start. Technically, like we did clean the garage last summer, but I want like, over winter things pile up. We've got like containers for the gas line antifreeze. I've got empty containers in there with lids on the floor. I want to do a nice sweep in there. I want to, or maybe even pressure wash, like take a couple hoses and start like cleaning it out, get rid of all the garbage, organize all of the kid toys because my daughter has been in there over winter and just made a mess of everything. So I just want to get all that stuff cleaned up. Get the cars cleaned up. We do that every summer, but I want to do it like at the beginning of summer and then try to maintain it throughout summer. Basement Swedish death cleaning, definite focus. I need to get that done. Health tracking, I already said, and pay credit card. So when we get my husband's still waiting on extra overtime payment from his previous work site job. So as soon as we get that money, it's going to go straight on the credit card. So then these are just some notes that I don't really want to write down like every month. So this is all the stuff I want to take care of for yard cleanup, including planting. So I have some money set away for planting, but not too much. So instead of focusing on vegetables, I don't want to spend tons of time like watering plants this summer. I want to spend more time like enjoying the yard. So I'm just going to get a few hanging baskets to make it look pretty, but I'm not going to go over in excess. I think last year I spent $600. This year I'm going to do like $200 and just buy a few things. I want to see if my fuchsias will come back, my hibiscus, I don't know if that'll come back or not, and my rose bush. Monthly FaceTime calls to our family, regular date nights, swimming every Sunday, and I'm going to check on April 8th, which is a Saturday, for the swim time. And then focusing also on my son's school. So, we've done well. He fell behind in reading. So from kindergarten to now, and he's finally at grade appropriate reading level, which is awesome. So we've worked really hard on that. And our next goal is his writing. So he still writes like some sentences, some words he'll write all in capital. He'll have capital A's mixed in with lowercase letters. So we're going to work on that next. Okay, so then specifically for April, I've got 2 appointments I know of so far. We have Easter Sunday at my mother-in-law's, and then also I need to, I'm gonna put on here prep for Easter, so prep for Easter, and we're gonna do ours either Monday or Saturday. I haven't decided yet. So I want to have an Easter hunt for the kids at our own house. My mother-in-law is going to do a huge one. She's got like kind of a huge, not really an estate. It's probably a quarter of an acre lot, maybe. It's quite big, their house area. But they live in Mundare, which is a very small town outside of Edmonton, about an hour away. And they are going to have, like, I think there's like, I don't know, altogether, not her grandchildren, but like altogether, there's going to be like 15 little kids, and they're all going to be doing, or maybe 10 little kids, I don't know, a whole bunch of Easter egg hunting all around the estate. And I also want to have one for my kids here, so I get them more personal stuff. So I need to think about that, start getting them some stuff. And yard cleanup, so I have that on there. I've got maybe cutting off the branches, raking the leaves up and picking up the dog poop, cleaning up the garage, cleaning the cars, speech death cleaning, also switching over all of our clothes. So I always switch, for my stuff anyway. I have my summer stuff put away in a different dresser that's not as easy to access. So I'm going to move all my winter stuff over there and then bring out all my summer clothes again. Set up my melody planners. Technically I have, but I just want to kind of finalize things before I do a video. And then tracking for my health. Books. I've got this one called The Night Realm Magic marked, and it's actually like 4 or 5 books in one, so I'm going to read that. Will be my next one. I've got Outlander, written in my own heart's blood. It's the second last novel in the series. I'm almost done, guys. And then Fairy Games, which is another series. For May, as far as I know, I've got 1 doctor's appointment, well, immunizations, right, for my son. A date for my mom, Mother's Day, and then birthdays. Oh yeah, birthdays. So a lot of my grandma and my 2 aunts are in April. And then my daughter's birthday is in May. So I want to plan for her party. So actually, I'm going to have to add planning here. Let's see. I'm running out of room. So I realized I'm going to have her birthday party on the 30th, which is a Sunday, because that's the only day that that my mother-in-law is available, and I want them to be able to come. So I'm going to probably post that to Facebook and do an invite for all of our family. And we're going to have a birthday party for her. I feel kind of bad because my son never got a birthday party because we went to Red Deer to see his grandpa. So he was sad. He never actually got a birthday party this year. So yeah, her birthday is May Day, May 1st, which is Beltane. Mother's Day, my Uncle Doug's birthday, May long weekend, we're probably going to Red Deer, potentially. I haven't decided, but my husband is usually off on the long weekends. Planting, very important. We have to wait till May long or around there somewhere. Buying flowers, barbecue on weekends, hot water tap outside. My husband's going to install that because he's a pipe fitter, gas fitter, plumber, and focusing on the basement. And we'll really want to get the basement done. If I can finish it by May, that would be awesome. Okay, and then for books, The Inheritance Games and City of Mirrors. And then June, all I have on here right now is Father's Day, last day of school, and then basically just changing the routines because obviously routines will be changing. I mean, kind of following the same what I'm doing right now. I still want to get up early to continue my work routine and kind of do a regular schedule, but I'm going to let the kids sleep in if I can. Let my son enjoy his summer break. Okay, that was forever. So we're done talking about goals. So then when I go and set my monthly goals in my monthly sheet, then we can refer to here. So it's perfect. So we're going to put this back in here. And yeah, we'll talk about all of the pretties. We'll do a flip through as well. So this video is going to be long. I'm sorry, guys. For those of you who enjoy long videos, I hope you really enjoy it. And for those of you who can't, maybe you can catch it in like little bits. That's usually what I do. If I want to watch a really long video or a live back and replay, I usually watch a little bit here, a little bit there. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, let's see, quarter two goals, monthly goals. Let's look at the task list first. So review the month, right? We could review the previous month really quickly. So my month actually overall wasn't too busy. I had a few appointments. My husband had a few appointments. We had my son's immunizations. My son had quite a few days off school. Spring break was at the end of this month. Like we're currently in spring break. My son had his appointment on the 15th. My other son had an x-ray. We never got a phone call, so there was nothing wrong with him. He was fine, so I'm grateful for that. I still have to make my dentist appointment, so I'm going to have to carry this stuff over. I didn't put that on my goals, and I have no room left. Oy, okay. Still need to cut my dog's hair, so that's going to fall into April. Today's already the 29th, and today, tomorrow, and Saturday, even over the weekend, I'm going to be super swamped, you guys. I'm not going to have time until the first week of April probably, because the first is always a busy day for me too, because I'm doing my budget recap and my analytics and my statistics and financials for my business. So just super, super busy. And then when I do the week, it's going to be busy because we're falling into the first. We're working on this right now, so that's good. And budget, I did that today. I've got to edit the video and have it posted for tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, overall, not too bad. A couple of haircuts and the dentist appointments. I've been stalling on that because I dread the dentist, but mostly because the only person I can get to watch my kids during the weekday is my mom, and she has been busy. And she's stressed out with her own stuff too. Okay, so Swedish death cleaning, that's the big one right now. We're doing that now. Honestly, on the Rose Witch, I'll have done by the end of this month. I've literally got 2-3 days left. I'll have it done. No worries. Okay, so Swedish death cleaning. I have to move that one over. So far, the dentist appointments, haircuts, I did really well. Like, all things considered, I did super good. I'm really proud of myself for taking care of everything, considering how stressed things have been. So this is what my weeks look like. Meal planning has gone pretty good. My husband has appreciated being able to have meals, leftovers for work. As for tasks during the week, a lot of times you'll see me do this. I'll be able to cross off some things, and then when I don't, I simply move them over to the next week. This one, I don't think I did anything, which is fine. It's all about grace. I liked this one. I used my own stickers here to decorate. And then I had to ink. I had a fight with my pen here. I did really well here. And then this is last week. I really have to get on top of that Swedish death cleaning. My basement is atrocious. And then this is this week. So you guys, I honestly did pretty well. Yeah, yard cleanup. I don't know why I did that, but there's some things I'll be carrying over, so I will refer to these pages once I'm done. I'm going to save these die cuts too. This pocket will stay on here, but the die cuts are going to be saved. Okay. As for everything, like these are basically how I use my inserts. I did a quick flip through of this on Instagram. There's sometimes I don't use the notes page, but then there's sometimes I do. And I know people say if you don't use the page, why are you wasting paper? But I would rather have it there. Like when I do have, you know, notes and stuff that I want to make, I want to be able to have it there. But I mean, for the most part, I try to get most of my daily tasks done. This was a super productive day. And even for the small stuff, like what's a small thing? Like supper. Supper sometimes takes 2 hours. It depends what I'm making, right? If I'm making roast beef dinner or stew, it does. It actually takes 2 or 3 hours. Um, all of this stuff. So anything that takes time. I don't time block because I can't. I find that it doesn't work for me. I can do AM, PM, which you'll see in my new Agendio inserts. I'll walk you through that quick. But anything that takes time, I write it down because I like to go back and kind of track to see what kinds of things I've been doing in a day. And a lot of my things take a long time. I mean, one video, this video is probably going to take 3 hours to edit. So yeah, you can see for the most part, I try to get most of my tasks done. I have a lot that I do in one day. A lot. I mean, a lot of it's for my business. I don't know why Wednesday was so quiet. Oh no, that's today. So, what happened here, the reason why I don't have anything on here is because I started using my new inserts. That's why. Okay, so that's kind of like a walkthrough of my month of what I've gone through so far. And now, review the month. So we have to set up my new calendar and review quarter goals we did, review month we did, set new goals, calendar, and yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's do a quick walkthrough of Agendio. So I just put this on here. I don't know why. This is my new inserts. I only have 1 month in here, like I mentioned before, and I'm not, I gave myself this week to kind of practice because while they start in April, they gave the first week, the week setup of the last week of March, as well as like the days. So I've been practicing to see how I like it. It's going to take some time getting used to, I'm not going to lie. So here's an overview for the year. I did start these in April. I have an index here, so any important information that I write down on my daily notes pages, I'm simply going to write on these pages here. I just haven't written anything yet, but that's the plan for that. Okay, so then here I'll talk about this after, but I ended up laminating some of these. These are printables from Planners Anonymous, and I laminated it and I'm using it as a bookmark just to mark my monthly page, but I also cut the little holes so that I can kind of slip it in and out really easy. So this is my month. Each of my months is going to be a different color. I have a spot for a quote, and then I color coded it. So I put certain things in that will be every day on every month. So budget recap and analytics is always on the first. I put in all of my Canadian holidays, all of my birthdays, my budget every Wednesday, and my payday every Thursday, all of my garbage days. And yeah, and then on the right side, I've got a tiny little spot for high level goals, anything that's important, reminder, notes, and then next month, anything that I need to remember, kind of at a glance. So I'm going to use my date dots for this. And it's going to take me a little bit to get used to it. I don't know what I'm going to do for next month, if I'm going to use these inserts or if I'll go back to Franklin for a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to miss decorating. I can still decorate to some extent, but not to the extent I was doing before. So this is my monthly goal page. I wrote top 5, but I meant to put 5 dots, but I only put 4. So, whatever, doesn't really matter. I've got top business goals here, and then how I'm going to accomplish the goals, and then notes. So I put action items. These will be like the most important things for the month. And then this will be some notes and then everything else. Same for my business. And you'll see a few business things for the monthly overview. And I'm not sure about the week, but for the month. And this is still my personal planner. I'm not using this for business. I do have my separate planner for business. I just don't have enough room in one planner. But um, I want to be able to see my work schedule at a glance as well, to be able to reference it. So on this side, it's my monthly tasks. I've got one for personal and one for business. Again, I keep my tasks in my work planner, but I want to be able to to see what I have. So this will just be tasks. It won't be videos because I'll show you why. I've got a monthly habit tracker on the back. So I will be tracking these things on here as well as in my health planner. So I have a different insert for that in my health planner. And this was originally going to be for a weight tracker, but because I now have my health planner that I won't be showing online, I'm going to use this as a notes page. Okay, so it'll be notes for like monthly notes. And then biz brainstorm. So this is where I'm going to write down ideas. So basically, the idea is when I'm gone somewhere, like say I'm at an appointment or I'm at the grocery store, and I always bring this planner with me. It's not as portable as a compact or a personal, but it's necessary because I've got all my information in here that I need. If I need to make an appointment, I can look at my schedule. I know what's going on. Also, if I go to Red Deer, I take this planner with me. I don't take my work planner unless I have a really busy weekend and I need to work on the weekend, then I'll bring my work planner too. But for the most part, I just bring this one. So if I'm sitting in line somewhere and all of a sudden I get this awesome idea for a blog, I can write it here. Okay, so this is the whole thing. So any ideas that I have right now written down in my work planner, I'm going to transfer here. And this is just for April. So every month I'll have more, and then I can check them off as I take care of them. And then if I don't do them that month, I will just simply transfer them to the next month. Okay, on this side, this is where I said I won't be putting videos on my actual task list. I'll put the videos here. So I've got, for the 1 month, again, this is just for April, I've got blogs. So all the blogs, I can put the dates down here. The stats for that month, I do like to track my stats by week and by month. My video, and I do daily too, like I do that on my work planner. Monthly video list. So all of the videos I'll be creating that month will go here, and then any notes will go on this side. And then this is kind of where I've practiced for the first week. This was like my practice week for the first week of, or the last week of March, I guess, this current week. This is another printable. This is from Mermaid Shores, and the other one was Dream Chaser. So the thing that I'm going to need to get used to is that I'm used to using the Teresa Collins where I can actually put in stickers. I could still technically use stickers, but it just doesn't feel right. And I feel like this is kind of time blocking. It's not really, and I can't time block, you guys. I've got 3 kids. I can't say from 8 to 9 I'm going to work on this specific project because guaranteed it won't get done. So instead, I've got an AM, a PM, and an evening. This works perfect for me with kids. I put my high level tasks up here. This is the thing I need to do that day, like absolutely. I will be including work tasks on this planner, the weekly planner. Basically, any notes I need to note for the week. So, if it's Monday, journaling, that's the biggest thing I do on a Monday. That goes in the AM. When I wake up between 5 and 8, that's when I do it. We have breakfast in the morning. And then if we had an appointment or something, it would just go there and I would just note the time. And then PM is supper. We have supper we have supper at 6 now, but it used to be about 4 o'clock. And then the evening is like bath time and, bedtime. So then on the left side, I've got weekly goals. So these are the things I need to get done that week for sure. Okay. Or something I want to track, like say for instance, like my focus is on water that week and I want to do like 3 bottles every day. I would put it down here. reminders here and then little notes for next week so that anything that I need to make note of, instead of writing it on the next week, I write it here. And then when it comes to next week, I just look here and say, okay, I have to transfer this to my next week. Okay, and then this is just the area for the weekend. And then this is my weekly dashboard. So my meal planning goes here, grocery list here, and then this is my dashboard. So I've got my weekly tasks, and this can be basically anything. So I don't think I would put videos here though. This would just be for tasks that I have to do, my personal or home or anything like that, or with my son. Okay, a spot for notes, my statistics, and then a review. So at the end of the week, I will come here, write down what was good, what wasn't so good, and what I can do better for next time. Okay, and then we get into the first day. So how I have it set up is I have top 3 daily goals. So these are the things I want to for sure do that day. The theme of the day, so I do day theming, which is why I put a theme. So Mondays are always journal, Tuesdays for my blog, and then Wednesday is sticker design. Even though I've got a couple of videos I needed to film for Wednesday, the top thing is sticker design. Okay, I have a time block schedule. I put my time from 5 in the morning to 1 a.m. And I know it sounds crazy. I've never found a planner that has allowed me to do that. So I made it myself because I get up at 4:30, usually 4:35. I've been trying. And I start work tasks early in the morning between 5 and 8. And then there are times like a Friday night, if we have date night, I stay up till 3. So, I mean, I could have gone lower or farther, but that's usually only once every 2 weeks. So I have, for the most part, I have the important times. Then I broke my task list up into 3 spots. Personal, which gives me a tiny spot. Business, which is a bit bigger. And then home. And then if I happen to like extend it beyond one of the categories, that's fine. Or I can bring it over onto my notes page. Okay. So every notes page is like, obviously April is in yellow. The notes page has like a yellow line at the top to signify that that's the same month. And that's how I've been doing it. And then I've just had lots of notes. Today there's tons of notes because I've got lots of notes I had on this for today's setup. Okay, let's do the calendar and the goals. Let's see here. Monthly goals, monthly tasks, habit tracker I don't need to touch, biz schedule. I probably should write that in. Okay, so we're going to fill this in now, and I'll probably refer to my goals I wrote down in the planner already. Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to have this beside me, and we're going to quickly fill all of this out. If I have any appointments, I'm going to use these dot stickers here. And I also have my pre-planning sheet that I can add all of my things. And then when we're done, we will come back and chat.
I'll walk across the room just to show you that I'm still around. Ask if you wanna meet somewhere later when the sun goes down. Oh, you know I'm serious. I will keep you all to myself.
All right, guys, so that is it for my setup. So I just wanted to talk about this quick before we actually go through the remainder of the flip through here. I'm just going to add my planner charm back on the index here. And I think it's perfect timing because my daughter just woke up. She's in her crib. She did not want to sleep in her big girl bed last night. She's not feeling good, so she just wanted the extra security. Okay, so for April, for my quote of the month, it's by the 4 Laws of a Shaman. I found it on Facebook. It says, anytime it starts is the right time. I think that's so simple and it's true. And it's something that I've been working on accepting. Every time the universe hands us another hurdle, another challenge, that's just something that I try to think about as in positivity and trying to make it a bad situation. If you look at it the right way, at the right angle, you can make it work still. Okay, so I didn't need to add birthdays because I already have birthdays on here. I didn't need to add like budget or like garbage day or anything because I already have it on here. So I'm really happy with that. My calendar looks very simple. And now if there is anything, like I could put like a little party sticker here. Let's see. Because I do have all of these little stickers that I do want to still keep using. So let's see if I can find a birthday one. Here we go. So this will be the party for my daughter. Just kind of looking at the schedule and looking at how things will go. It's going to have to be on the day before. So I used my Erin Condren date dots. They're perfect. I'll probably have to see if I can order more because I really like them. They're translucent, but they're still very colorful and I love color. So I put my son's no school days. Technically he's off still for spring break on the weekend, but I mean, it's the weekend. He's always off on the weekend. So those are his no days. And then we have Easter on Sunday. And I could technically put when we celebrate Easter, so it's either going to be the Saturday or the Monday, but I haven't quite decided yet, so I didn't put it down. We have an appointment on the 19th for my son at 2, and then another one on the 28th at 11, and then my daughter's birthday. So really, it's not too crazy of a month, but I will be adding dentist appointments on at some point for this month. So I did leave my date dots in the back of my planner. Okay, so that's the calendar. And then the rest of it looks a little bit more busy because I actually have quite a bit of things I added on here. So these are my goals. I basically just kind of copied over everything from my quarter goals. So all of that's on here for the month. But I didn't leave it like I just, instead of like writing down the books, I just said read 3 books so I can cross it off of my goals. And then business goals, I want to start doing like a weekly update video as well. Like even if it's like, 10 minutes or so, it doesn't have to be terribly long. Just kind of talk about how things have been going, any updates. I might call it like a weekly life update or something. Whether I have makeup on or doesn't, it doesn't matter. But I want to do like videos outside, just kind of fun videos because I haven't done those, and I might show my planner in there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I want to start doing that. And I bought this like paper from Amazon. I don't know what it's going to look like. And technically it's an overlay paper, but I might just use it like the way it is. I don't know if it's like, I think it's see-through. I don't know. We'll have to see. I want to see how my ink, yeah, it's like clear paper. So it's not, I don't know how it would work as an over, like for a vinyl decal. Unless I stick this paper to like plain paper and then cut my sticker accordingly. I could always do that and just stick it to white paper. I haven't decided. I don't know how that's going to work or what it's going to look like, but anyway, I could stick it to white paper and then put the sticker. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. I honestly don't. So what I would have to do is print out my sticker on white paper, like do a whole sticker sheet. That might work actually. I would have to try that. So these are A4 size, I'm pretty sure. They're not like a letter size, like a US letter. But what I would have to do is print out my stickers on my regular paper. And then I would have to use this and just put it right on top of that and then put it through my Cricut machine. And hopefully it would like not reflect. I usually, so my Cricut machine will cut on my glossy paper. I have to actually put tape, um, like tape that's like not shiny on top of the guidelines. So it actually cuts. And that's usually just on the clear gloss. But I think on my white gloss paper, I can't remember if it works. I think it just works. I don't think I ever have to tape it. I can't remember. Maybe I do. But if I had this, for sure I'd have to tape it. So that's what I would do is tape the edges and then see if it would cut. And then I want to see what it looks like. I've got this new mascot coming out kind of thing. And I'm going to call her Coco, and it's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be in my sticker shop. But at first I might kind of give them away as freebies. I don't know yet because it's expensive to get like 10 sheets of this paper. It's $15. So it's not cheap. But I just want to see what it looks like, and maybe I'll start using it in my own planner. I'm going to do some experiments and just, I think that would print best if I printed it on regular paper, like especially like my plain white paper, or even my weatherproof mat. That stuff is amazing. Like the ink shows up really well on that, and then put this on top. I think that would look best. So I'm going to do some experimenting, and I'm going to have like these large die cuts, and they're going to look so cute. And I might eventually sell them in my shop. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, they're from Amazon and super cheap. I got two different versions. This one's like the stars, and then this is the cut glass. So it's really, really, really pretty. So I'm going to do some experiments with that. So I need to work on brainstorming. So those are like ideas for my blog, my sticker shop, and for videos. I do already have like a whole bunch of video ideas. So I'm going to have to transfer that to this list once I'm done the video, because there's no point in doing it right now. I have a blog post for, it's actually the end of April, so I have to work on that pretty soon. But it's like my favorite springtime things. I always do like a seasonal blog about my favorite current favorites, and keep my desk decluttered. That's one of my goals right now. I need to focus on that because it's driving me crazy. I just did my pens, and this is another thing I wanted to share with you guys. So I've got a before and an after. I'm going to post them right now. Guys, check it out. This is what I did. So the before picture is how I had my pens organized by type. The second picture, where I have them organized by color, is much more pleasing to the eye. However, I have yet to discover if that's going to be more efficient for me. So the main goal, other than having it look pleasing, is to be able to use all of the types of markers and brush pens that I own. So like I think I mentioned this before, the bottom two like rows of cubbies are only brush pens, and then the top row plus the very top one with like the sliding drawers are all like regular pens. Like they include Sharpies, they include Crayola super tips, any kind of writing utensil. That's where those are, and those are highlighters and stuff in there as well. I want to see if I can actually use all the types of my pens. So if I'm searching for a particular color, I go in there and then I'm like, oh yeah, I need this type of brush pen, or I need this type of pen, or this fine liner. And then I can start using all of my pens instead of just always reaching for my Tombows or my zebra mild liners. So I want to start using everything because I do have a lot. So as you guys have seen by the picture. Okay, so that is it for goals. For tasks, I have quite a few things I probably will add to this. I always end up having lots of tasks for the month. So, I mean, that's not going to change. But the big things, like I have my daughter's birthday, the yard cleanup. Oh, I should probably write a plan for that too. Anyway, I'm going to have like, I'm going to treat my basement cleanup as a project, perhaps even the vehicles as a project, because I don't know, it's hard to schedule. I have to always get my mom to help because I can't do all the things by myself. I can't look after the kids. I can't clean the car at the same time. I need help. So it's a matter of scheduling. And then when I come over to my biz schedule, I just put my blogs that will have happen that month and my video list. And of course, there's room down here. I did put the date that they're posting on, but I will have videos in between because I'm going to have my melody set up for this month. I have to do a video on that. Probably a new updated planner lineup and some Jeffree Star hauls and video, and perhaps even a Sephora haul. So we'll kind of take a look at that. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Did I do everything? We transferred the tasks. We did all of that. So now for the final flip through. Okay, so we'll start at the beginning and we'll talk about everything here. Because I know while I was planning, I probably didn't sound so excited about this, but this is like my favorite setup that I've made to date. I'm pretty sure. I have to say, I'm confident in saying that this is like my favorite setup ever. Okay, so I'm going to talk about all of the pieces here that I have. I do have all of these markers here. I don't know if I'll keep all of them in this planner. I think I will this one for sure with that highlighter, and then maybe these. I don't know. I really like this one, but it doesn't have like a clip to like stay in. So, okay, let's see. So starting over here, I'll talk about these pens. I'll see if I have enough room down below to add them to. This is my Zebra Mild Liner, not a brush pen, just the highlighter. Comes with the finish side and then like the highlighter side. This is a Zig Memory System brushable brush pen, and it has two different colors on each end. So this is like the lightest lavender purple I could find, and then this is one that's a bit darker. This is my Zebra Click Art pen. It's actually a felt tip marker, but it's a clickable one. I love them. They're my favorite. I use them for my sticker shop all the time. This is my Stabilo .88 fine tipped fine liner, 0.4 millimeter in purple. This is my Erin Condren marker, this fine tip on this side with a plastic nib. Love that. And then more of a bolder side. And then I have another Zig brushable. It's a bit darker, but I won't be using this one. Oh, I forgot to use washi tape too. I have a whole bunch of washi tape I wanted to use. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, let's see where to start. These are from Planners Anonymous. This is a printable that I laminated and just stuck in here. This is something that came from Under the Stars kit. It says turn your dreams into plans and your can'ts into cans. So that goes in here. I have two ollie clips. This is like the tortoiseshell one, and this is a rainbow one. In case I need a clip for some reason, and I think I want to put that on the outside here. This little guy here is just a paper clip with a star. This is from the Honeybee shop. These are also from the Honeybee shop. They are die cuts, vinyl die cuts. I've got some business cards in this pocket here. This is a die cut from Planners Anonymous from Dream Chaser. And this is Dream Chaser 2. That one there. Okay, these little paper clips are, I can't remember if they're both from Jane's Agenda. This one's from Jane's Agenda. This one might be from Fancy Plans. Can't remember if it's from Fancy Plans Co. or Jane's Agenda. Okay, and then this is from the Honeybee shop. I have a pink one too, and I haven't done a haul yet, but it is actually a magnet. So there's just a magnet at the back of it. And it says VIP of the Stationery Hoarders Club. And it's purple to match this planner. Okay, now this charm is one of mine. It's from Best Friends, but I just have the friend side of it. It's a rainbow to go with the planner on a silver jumbo paper clip. And here I'm using this, it's actually an acetate from Heather B. Co. 2023, but I laminated it, so it's not so flimsy. And then underneath that, I have an acetate that I purchased from Amazon. And then this glitter edger is, I think it's the amethyst one, and it is from the Planner Society. Okay, and then I have a laminated, this was a vellum from Planners Anonymous, and that one was from Under the Stars. It's the vellum, and I laminated it. And then I just have the paper clip on all of them together because I thought it looked really pretty, kind of like my protective cover page. I have an overview tab, so this is from Cloth and Paper, with Cloth and Paper sticky notes. So every time I have information that I don't have time to like write in my planner, I'll write it here, stick it here, and then I can file it later within my planner. Next, I have my task cards. I used to have like day and year or quarter, but I found that I wasn't using them as often, and I kind of know what I need to do for that. So now I just have week and month. And then I put these Erin Condren cards in here to make it look pretty. My dividers are from Dividers R Us. Currently, she was on a break. I don't know if she's back yet. And her shop was closed. Hopefully, she's back up and running soon because her dividers are amazing. They are on the pricey side, but they are the best dividers I've found that you can really customize to whatever you need them for. The top tabs are simply, or the bottom tabs I've got down here are simply the top tabs reversed. And I have like two sets of top and bottom, well, one set of like two sets of top, two sets of sides in the clear and the frosted. But so far the frosted are my favorite. Okay, so the first tab is goals. Now this is from Elamon Paper Co. I put them together, and the reason why I put washi tape here is because it came like disc punched for half letter, and I didn't realize it came that way. Otherwise, I would have asked for it not to be punched at all because I have my own Franklin Covey punch, of course. So I covered that up and made my own holes. And this is like the month overview, and then I put it on top of my word of the year. So this is balance, a state of equilibrium. You can customize that from her as well, and I did the same thing. It's from Elamon Paper Co. And it's shiny, which I really like. Then I have my year overview. These are my quarterly goal inserts from Cloth and Paper. You don't get a choice with these. They already come 8 disc punch, so I did the same thing. I washied the edges. There's this quarter. Okay. And then I have my Franklin Covey rules and goals and values. Next is brain dump. So for the most part, these are all like Planners Anonymous papers that I cut down to size. So this one is either from Dream Chaser or Under the Stars. I can't remember this acetate, but this is definitely from Under the Stars. So I put them on top of each other like that. This is from Fancy Plans Co. It's my brain dump to-do list type thing that I'm really going to start using this quarter. I'm going to start using it in April. Okay. This is very similar. It's just like this area where you can like write down a task without like really deciding, like if you don't know where it's going to go or when it's going to go or just a reminder, you can write it here. Probably have to clean this off and like start filing everything where it's supposed to go. Next is schedule. So this is from Heather B. Co. I love this overview. Okay. I also got this that I haven't filled out yet. So this is also going to go on my list for potentially today. Let's write that in. My day is filling up, you guys. Quarterly overview. Okay. So this is from Elamon Paper Co. again. And the reason why I got this one, so you can see it's got like the little picture of a calendar. It's very similar to what I would set up as a bullet journal. Is because the Teresa Collins from Franklin Covey don't have the day beside, and I didn't want to write down like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to transfer my tasks over here. And I realized that there's not really enough room to do everything. Like maybe for April, I have enough. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you get 9 spots on each month. So I'm going to put like the high level, like the most important tasks on there. But yeah, for the most part, I always have to refer to a calendar when I look at this one. Okay. What I could do is just like if I'm going Monday to Sunday, I could highlight. I was highlighting my husband's work schedule here, but I could start to highlight according to colors and just go like, know in my head that that starts on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. That would be another way to do it. Or maybe what I'll do is have this just for appointments. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so this, like I said, was Teresa Collins. Then I've got my monthly top tab, and that's the last top tab I have because since I got my Agendio inserts, I no longer need like the month, the week, or the day. So this is from Heather B. Co. as well, and I laminated it. This is Planner's Anonymous Dream Chaser, and I put this little Dream Chaser pocket on the back so I can put some die cuts in there, and technically I was going to stash those in there just like that. Okay, then I've got my Agendio inserts. We kind of already went through this. Here's the index. I've got my month, my goals, my monthly tasks, my habit tracker. This will be a page for notes, my brainstorm area for my business, my schedule for my business, and then my first week. Okay, and then I go into the days with a notes page on the right. I'm still going to keep my compass card. And when I do this video, I'm going to film this video tomorrow, and then we'll talk about the week for next setup. Okay, so for the rest of this week, I just wrote down a few notes, and then that was it. April 1st starts fresh. Oh, and then I just wanted to show you guys, at the very end of the month, I do have, oh, I did. Thought I did. Hold on. I think it falls on the next page, actually. So it ends up being, there's a notes page at the very end of the month, and then the beginning of the new month, there's like a month review. So we'll talk about that when we go into the new month. Okay, so the next section is home. And I have this from, I kind of mix these. This is from Under the Stars. And then I put the butterfly skies on top of it. That's an acetate from there because I thought it just kind of looked really, really pretty together. So I did that. And then I have my, technically I don't need another dashboard, but I have my meals and chores under here. So I added this one. This is Dream Chaser. And this is Butterfly Skies as well. Okay, and then I've got all my meal planning stuff. So I've got my grocery list, I've got my wine list, my non-food items, personal food items, meal plan ideas, freezer inventory, which I have to go through again, and then organization areas. My bottom, this is for sinking funds. This is laminated again. I laminated it. It is from Heather B. Co. and it's a Vellum dashboard. I won't go through my sinking funds. And then I've also got my son's school tab here. So this is from Dream Chaser. Both of these. And I have to fill this out for next week when he goes back to school again. So I'm going to add that to my tasks to do today as well. Let's see. That will go under home. Okay. So then after that we have personal. So this dashboard is a rainbow foiled dashboard from Heather B. Co. I did not laminate this because it is cardstock. And then I just have some personal items in here, not really a whole lot. Then my reading tab. So I got rid of my reading dashboard that I had in here for the longest time. I have these sticky notes from Cloth and Paper, which is so cute. And I love this too. So this is from either Under the Stars or Dream Chaser. I cannot remember, with a vellum dashboard from Under the Stars. And then I have this insert from Cloth and Paper. It is the bibliophile insert. And you can write down the reading log, which I actually have to finish. I have to fill this out. So I haven't done that in a long time. So I will do that too. Add it to the list. Okay. Then I've got routines. I used to have my task cards back here, but I since switched it. I like having it up front. This is another cardboard cardstock dashboard from Heather B. Co. with rainbow hollow foil. And then my habits. I haven't actually used this that much. I'm going to start again. I'll take this one out and start again in April. But technically I have my habit tracker now on my my inserts for the month. So I'm probably going to take this out of here and just track it in my health planner as well as at the beginning of the month. I really don't need this in here anymore. But I do have routines in here, so I'll probably keep that. This will probably help with space, to be honest. Okay, then I have my projects and notes, and this again is from Dream Chaser. I don't have anything written in here right now, but I will have some projects. I'll probably put them all on these cloth and paper sheets. These ones are from, oops, I have note paper from the 7 Habits here for notes, and then project planning sheets from Teresa Collins and Franklin Covey. I like these as well. These are really nice project sheets. And I have like the regular Franklin Covey ones. And then I'll probably end up using these just so I can save on paper, because you can put like project here, project here. This will probably be for all the outside projects. So like it'll be garage cleaning, setting up our hot water tap outside, stuff like that. Okay, and then we come to the page lifter at the back. So I put this printable from Planners Anonymous. This is Under the Stars. The darkest nights produce the brightest stars, with a gold paper clip. And then I've got my back pocket. I've got my ruler, my date dots for my little dots, and then a notebook for my son's health stuff that all go in the back. And that's it. That is my complete flip through of this planner. You guys, I'm in love with this setup. I'm going to call this my like dream setup, because it truly is. I love it. And I'm so happy with the way it turned out. It's going to take me a little bit to get used to the, I think the inserts, the agenda inserts, because I'm so used to using my Franklin inserts. And I've been using my Franklin inserts since I started Franklin planning. So I don't know, like I'll have to kind of see how it goes. I don't know how I feel about it yet. The other thing too is I have to get used to this pen. I haven't had any ink problems with it for the past like week or two now. I've been pretty good. This is a TWSBI. I finally figured out how to pronounce it. It is a fountain pen, a refillable one. They're really pricey, but they're like, they'll last you forever, hopefully. And I just got one. And I got the Diamond 580, whatever that is, but I got like the oil slick looking one because it matches with my planner, and because purple is my favorite color, so it kind of looks like, it's shifty, but it looks mostly purple. So I got that. And then for ink, I actually also ordered this container from TWSBI as well. It's really easy to fill. So you you take off the nib, and then you put the pen on there. You turn it upside down, you put the pen on there, and then you just pull up, you twist up on the pen, and the pressure brings up the ink. It's really, really convenient. And then my ink is from Cross, but it's not like the cheap ones. It is the one from Germany, which writes really, really well. The problem is with this ink is that it is water-based, so it doesn't clog up your fountain pen, and you can't go over it with a highlighter because it will smear like crazy. So you have to highlight first and then write what you want. And then if you do that, sometimes the ink will smear or it will feather, I mean, because I have a medium nib, so it's already large, but when the paper is wet at all, it'll feather everywhere. So you have to be really careful. There's certain areas you can use them on, and certain areas that it doesn't work so well. So, and it does take a little bit of time to dry. Although as a righty, I haven't noticed any ink stains on my hands, so that's good. Okay, but other than that, I think that's it for my April setup. So tell me what you guys think. I'd be eager to know. This is perfect timing because my kids are waking up. So thank you so much for joining me on this planning journey for the month. Stay tuned for updates. I'll have my weekly video posting the day after this one. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you are new, please subscribe. Click on the bell notification button to receive updates when I post new content. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye, friends.